Drive ignition.
This is Actar's Reviews, from anime to figures and beyond. Welcome to another Actar's Figure Reviews. As unbelievable as this sounds, it's time for another Digimon figure review. But this time it's not a re-review, it's a review of a brand new Digimon figure. I did say before that I would be continuing my Digimon reviews when I acquire new Digimon figures, and today's the day. Without further ado, the subject of today's review is, as already evidenced by the title of the video, Spirit Evolving KaiserGreymon, or in English, Spirit Digivolving EmperorGreymon. For Digimon Frontier, Bandai of America actually did the right thing and imported and repackaged the Japanese Spirit Evolving figures, the ones that featured the more accurate Saint Seiya-esque gimmick of having the armor which you could put on both a spirit frame and a human frame to recreate the spirit evolution process. However, there were two Spirit Evolving figures that did not manage to find their way to US shores and remained Japan-only releases. They were the Spirit Evolving KaiserGreymon, which you see before you, and Spirit Evolving Magna Garurumon. Diving straight into the review, first off, the box itself is like all the other Japanese Spirit Evolving toys, with the armor visible in one window and the human body in another. We are treated with a pretty awesome 3D portrait of KaiserGreymon. On the side of the box, we have KaiserGreymon in human form, and on the other side, spirit form. Technically speaking, we never did get to see the spirit form of KaiserGreymon in the show. However, after doing some research, I found out there is officially a spirit form of KaiserGreymon that is replicated by this toy. The 10 spirits of Fire, Ice, Wind, Wood and Earth would merge together to form this new Hyper Spirit of Fire, but again, we never did see this in the show. And on the back of the box, it shows the transformation process from spirit to human. Over here, you can see that there are a couple of barcodes below the figure's base that, once scanned with the Japanese version of the detector digivice, will allow one to obtain Susanomon. And speaking of Susanomon, the toy features a third mode. That is, when combined with the armor pieces from Magna Garurumon, one is able to form the ultimate Susanomon. Unfortunately, I have yet to obtain the Spirit Evolving Magna Garurumon, so this feature will have to be saved for a future review. That's pretty much it for this packaging, so let's open this bad boy up and take a look at the contents inside. So here's what's included inside. We have the main human base body, a spirit base body, 23 individual armor pieces, the base, and a pair of instruction sheets, one that shows you how to form KaiserGreymon's spirit and human modes, and another that details the merging process with Magna Garurumon to form Susanomon. First up, the spirit form. Well, there's nothing really much for me to say here. Like all the spirit forms of all the other Digimon of the series, it's basically just the armor compacted together. Still, it does look good and kind of gives off this whole sword in the stone kind of vibe, which is in line with the mythological knight theme that KaiserGreymon seems to sport. And here are the barcodes that are below the base that, when scanned with the Japanese detector Digivice, will allow you to obtain Susanomon. Before moving on to KaiserGreymon's human form, let's check out the articulation of the base body. The head can turn left and right 360 degrees all the way around. The arms can move forwards and backwards, in and out. You can rotate at the upper arm. The elbows bend. Do note that there is a double joint. The hands can rotate at the wrist, and the fingers are individually articulated, separately articulated from the thumb. The waist can rotate left and right, the legs can move forwards and backwards, and in and out to only a certain degree. The knees can bend, and the feet are on a somewhat limited ball joint. And now it's time for Hyper Spirit's evolution. Here we have KaiserGreymon in all of his regal glory. First off, let me just say that I am in love with this design. The armor, the ornamentation, the colors, there is just something about him that makes him stand out and seem so grand and imposing. Now, I didn't even notice this before, but the design of his armor actually incorporates the heads of various mythological beasts, such as on the shoulders, on the arms, on the kneecaps, and on his feet. The details on this toy are relatively decent. We have a whole host of sculpted detail that is highlighted by all the paint applications. The only missing paint apps that I could find is the black for all the various eyes on the ornamental head. In terms of articulation, KaiserGreymon retains practically all of the posability of the base body despite the armor, save the arm articulation, which is slightly hindered by the large shoulder pads. Just like in the show, KaiserGreymon can store his sword on his back. To go about doing that, we first have to remove the back armor, attach the sword to his back, and reattach the back armor onto the sword itself. And here's how it looks from the back. For a size comparison, here he is next to the one and only original Warp Digivolving WarGreymon figure. It's also worthy to note that KaiserGreymon can hold his sword via these two side handles, just like when he's firing his Dragonfire crossbow attack. In conclusion, by itself, Spirit Evolving KaiserGreymon is an excellent toy representation of its on-screen counterpart. The Spirit form is a bonus, and the fact that it can combine with Magna Garurumon to form Susanomon is just mind-blowing. However, unfortunately, due to its rarity, what with it being only released in Japan and being a figure of one of the two mega forms from the series, I can only recommend this figure to die-hard fans. So, this is Acta saying, see you guys in the next episode.